Welcome to the Encore Audio Archives YouTube channel. I'm Taper Dave, and this is my channel. I've uploaded hundreds of talks here that I've recorded at meetings in West LA, and I've also recorded conventions starting in 2013. I've got a bunch of those up. And Walt and Mary Murray, the original owners of Encore Audio Archives, started the company in the 80s, and Walt recorded Joe and Charlie's and a bunch of stuff down in Vista, California. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1994. I hope you find something you like, so please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to hear something that I don't have or that you don't see, I'll see that I get it. Anyways, take care and have a great day if you want to.
Now let's give a warm welcome to our main speaker, Art. I'm Art Cole. I'm an alcoholic. Of course, there aren't very many birthdays. Who would stop speaking just before St. Patrick's Day? I came in after the holidays. My birthday is February 3rd, and it took me that long to stop drinking from Christmas. And of course, I have resentment about Joni. Okay, Coco, I am going to say it. You know, Coco said don't say that. She had more people give her the cake than I had at my whole first birthday. I'm learning to be disabled, and I thought I'd better tell you about it first. I can't talk. I can't talk. I had a stroke about 6 months ago, and believe it or not, I speak for a living. My book is coming out, and I give seminars and workshops and all that stuff. Not on AA, as you will learn, more on how to kill people in business. And for fun and profit, and mostly lots of profit. And I had to cancel the seminars, and it really upset the publisher and everybody else because I couldn't talk. I had lost the ability to move my mouth, and I've had to sort of relearn how to talk. Now, to give you a taste of what AA is like, there's something diabolical about the fellowship. It's just, if this is spiritual to you, so be it. But since getting out of bed in July, I've been asked to speak a lot. Now, I used to speak a lot, and then I found out that you can screw up your head doing that. And I backed away from being a speaker. And of course, now you get a stroke, and then you naturally are going to be asked. AA is going to see to it that you get to speak. Now that you can't, you know. When I was new, I used to sit there with 3 months in a program or 6 months in a program, and I used to think to myself, when are they going to ask me to speak? Yeah, God damn it, I have something significant to, you know. And I used to think of this significant shit, and I used to hang on to it and even make notes and write it down for when I was going to be a speaker. I want to be a guru like all the guys that get the women, you know. And or has AA changed? I don't know. I think not. And you know, yeah, I used to be quite profound and funny, and it replaced having to work a program. It was really more fun. Now I think, what can I tell you that I would have wanted to hear? Not what I would have said back then. God knows what I was saying back then. But rather, what would I want to hear with all of the people who were new tonight? And so many others with 6 months and maybe your first year. And if you've got 6 months, you've already heard everything we have to say anyway. By the way, you've heard everything we had to say in your first speaker tonight. Kathy was brilliant. When she alluded to the fact that an hour before the meeting, she didn't want to be here. Oh, fuck it. Yeah, oh, yeah, okay. But notice, she took the action. She's here. That is exactly all I can tell you. And she said it faster than I did, Her mouth moves much faster than mine. I'm going to try to tell you what I would have liked to have heard when I was new, and worse yet, because being new is easy. Being around for a year, that's awkward. You're too new to be old, and you're too old around the program to be new anymore. It's an awkward age. I would have liked to have heard somebody from the podium, for example, who copped out to the fact that he didn't like the meeting. I'm just not much of a guy that likes meetings. I don't like meetings. I don't like what we do here. I know why, and it works, and I don't like it. And I come anyway, and I don't like it. There's better stuff, even on the reruns, there's better stuff at home in terms of entertainment value. I also would have liked to have heard somebody cop to the fact that up here at the podium, which seems to make demigods out of us all. We all sort of, even people up their birthday, do you notice they all stand sort of exemplary, like we're all getting awards or something. There's something about being up here that turns you spiritual. All of a sudden, all the speakers were spiritual. I attended a meeting where somebody I sponsored was speaking, and she didn't know I was in the room, and I came in the back, and as usual, late. And then I heard her up there talking about the 12 golden steps and how God helped her through her program, and now she's got 10 years or whatever, 15 years. And I remember her a little differently. It wasn't quite that. I remember her climbing in my window when I was on the phone and I couldn't get to the door fast enough. That's what I remember when she was new. And I lived on the second floor at that time. How did she do it? I would have liked to have I'd like to have heard somebody talk about the fact that they pretended they were spiritual the way I did. Oh yeah, like going like, yeah, oh yeah, God's will, yeah, right, okay, sure, I pray, yeah, great. Well, I do now, but I didn't, but I knew that was what set me apart from the rest of you, because I knew that all of you were spiritual, just like you all look right now. You should all you should all come up here and take a look. You all look so clean and spiritual. You really look like decent people. And then there's me. Little Arthur inside, peeking out from these grown-up looking shutters, and absolutely certain that I'm going to die in hell because I am the only one here who hasn't found God. So there's another reason to prove why I can't make it here in this program. And I don't hear it that much. I would have liked to have heard when I was new that I pretended to read the book, and I even pretended to understand it, when in fact I couldn't much get into it. Now, I have since written some of the materials for Alcoholics Anonymous. They're here tonight, but I got to tell you, back then I couldn't read it. You don't ask a pillhead to read a book. You either give him the tape. Something special about pillheads. If you're like me, The smaller it is, the more powerful you think it is. And I don't know, that book looked awfully thick to me. It looked like a deep book. I would have liked to have known when I was new that I wasn't the only one that felt alone in the room and isolated and without friends. See, I didn't know anything about having friends. I knew something about the best friends money can buy, but I didn't know about real connects. I only learned about friendships here in the meeting. Friendships. I don't mean what MCA talks about, MCI, you know, sign up your 3 friends, and I mean real friends. Somebody who knows who you really are and likes you anyway. Who can let you know that he or she accepts you as you are and as you are not. A place where it is safe to be just the jerk you are. You know, we are really, some of us may or may not know this, we have done some jerky things. But you know what? We are magnificent people, prone to give generously and be there for others. And I didn't understand or know any of that when I came in. I used to make Luann Sims, who'd been in the program even longer than me, sit there after the meetings and tell me who really likes me. Well, does George like me? Does Sally like? Come on, Sally didn't like me. She didn't say hello to me tonight at the meeting. She doesn't like me. And what about and him and then she'd have to reassure me. No, he really likes you. Chuck likes you. Yeah, no. Well, Luann, do you like? Yeah, I like you. I like you, all right, most of the time, you know. I couldn't conceive of your liking if you knew who I really was. It was hard to keep separate, too, who knew what about me. You see, I couldn't let one person know a lot. I had a sponsor, Clancy Imslin was my first sponsor, gave generously to me in my first years, but I didn't take much. I didn't know how to trust. That's something else that I wish somebody had talked about in the podium when I was new. Our biggest problem, as I have observed it, having been privy to, I don't know how many hundreds of people I've sponsored and talked to thousands of what, I got to tell you, our biggest problem is trust. Trust. And it's senseless to tell one of us, you must trust us. You must trust me. You will, and that will be part of your growth, but I'd be surprised if you came in a very trusting and open person. I'd be surprised. I think rather, if we asked alcoholics to stand around the room and count off, they would be so individualistic, each one thinking he's the only one, and that there's nobody else quite like him, and that nobody else could I relate to. I think what we'd get is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You know, they wouldn't be 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be one, each one thinking I'm the only one. And that's the biggest problem I had coming in and out of AA. In and out of AA 8 times before I could put the first year together that I have. In and out 8 times from the age of 21. I knew all about alcoholism. Christ, I'd have written films on it. I've written educational films on alcoholism. And I was swacked the whole time. All to find out how I could not be one. My secret agenda was, maybe if I know enough about it, I can beat it. I can beat it, because I knew I had the problem. I haven't had 3 minutes of delighted drinking. It was always medicinal for me. And listen, another thing. Let's get this covered for Christ's sake. I introduced myself as an alcoholic, and I must know something about a few other chemicals because I'm younger than 100 years old. Now, so you took, I could never get it straight you took suppositories and I took scotch. What's the difference? Who cares I could never get it. Red wine with Percodan and white wine with Demerol. We don't care. We just don't care. And I hardly ever get into the drinking parts of my story because you got to check the crowd first to find out who's worried about what pill or chemical you mentioned. So what? It has nothing to do with your chances of recovery here. Your chances of recovery here are better than you think. In fact, your judgment stinks, so it's much better than you think. And fortunately, it's not a religion, so that you don't have to believe in it for it to work. Isn't that terrific? Because I didn't. Another little secret I withheld for many years as a newcomer. I don't belong here. This isn't going to work for me. I know my case is different. I know they really don't understand me. And I just can't wait till I bust out of here, but right now I need this. So I'll hang around just a bit more. Well, if those secret thoughts are running through your mind, those little dirty thoughts, and you thought you're the only one, there's at least one more in the room tonight. Because I didn't believe I would be around 27 years sober. I can tell you what was the difference in the last time and all the other times, in case you're interested. Maybe there's somebody in the room who will be interested in what made me stay sober the last time, as against going in and out and that horrible first meeting back, raising your hand again, to finally, of course, I didn't raise my hand as a newcomer. I mean, I have my pride. I know what the difference is between the last time and all the other times. Here is the difference. All the other times I came in the program, it was for the purposes of getting my life together and shaping up. The last time I came in the program, I had already tried committing suicide. And I hope it's obvious to you that didn't work. And then called AA, only, believe me, I'd have called the Women's Christian Temperance Union before I'd have called AA again, I'll tell you. This is not where I want. I didn't write down as a goal somewhere in the 6th grade that I think I want to grow up and be in AA. You know. And I came in the worst way possible. I still had my wristwatch and a whole lot of achievements. My life worked while I was drinking. Of course, it wasn't worth living, and I wanted to... But out there, the stuff, boy, did I have stuff. I had more stuff then than I have now. If you're a collector of stuff, in order to find out that's who you are, oh, man, did I have stuff. I came into my first AA meeting, I came in the Rolls Royce, and the Jaguar was still back there in case the Rolls broke down, which was often. And I had a house right out here on the beach in Malibu. And I wanted to die. So, last resort, I come to Alcoholics Anonymous. Well, here I am again. Oh, shit. God. You know, look at this mopey bunch. Do I have to be like them? God, they're all smiling, and they all look like they know something I don't, and I'll be damned if I'm going to ask them. You know. And, you know, come on, I'm more sophisticated than this. I can, come on, I didn't exactly come out of the closet. I didn't come off a couch in order to get here tonight. You know, I have important things to do. What am I doing in this AA stuff? And da-da-da-da. And somebody came up to me and asked me to be his sponsor. That's a little awkward. Don't you understand? I'm new too. You know, you really need help if you can't see that I am as bad off as you are. Jesus, get away from me. Oh, and not only that, but he was sweaty and he wasn't anywhere near as elegant as I am. And humble, you know. Now, I don't know anything about humble. Can you tell I don't know anything about humility? I mean, I'm arrogant now. I was pompous then. And he comes up, sidling up to me and hands my, and touches me and says, and he's humble about it. He says, would you please be, I need help. You seem to know what you're doing. Clyde, that's an act, you asshole. That's why I succeed in business, is because of that act. Of course I look like I know what I'm doing. I know how to look like I know what I'm doing. And the pills and the booze help me to look like I know what I'm doing. It's an act. God, can I drop it anywhere? And now I'll tell you something. God bless him. He saved my life. I don't know what I did for him, but he saved my life because I came to the meetings for him. See, that's how come I know you're magnificent. Because if I look inside and I know how I am, and I can tell how you are, because you're like me.
Sorry to interrupt your viewing. Taper Dave here. Just wanted to take a second to ask you to like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you like what you're listening. I've got some very good talks here, and this one's a great one. Just curious, do you think this is better than Zoom? Tell me what you think.
What would you have in common? What in the hell would you have in common with this Jewish-looking Santa Claus? You know, overage, you know, follically impoverished. I have a lot, actually. It's all growing inside. You know, I wasn't adopted, and I do look like my family. You drink too. But you know what about Bob? I came to the meetings because of him. I wouldn't have come for me. I didn't think enough of me to come for me. But Bob was expecting me at that meeting. And the next morning, God damn him, on the phone every morning. Again, I told you I sponsored lots. I've never seen anybody so consistent. Usually they start screwing up about the third day of that phoning bit. Not him. Every morning. Hi, Art, it's Bob. Well, rise and shine. Now, what happens to a lot of people, a lot of us when we come in, is after a while we get, we actually get in touch with a feeling or two, you know, beside anger, I mean. Manic anger. And Bob, over the months, began to, and I could see myself in him. See, I couldn't see me, but I could see myself in him. And you know, one night, just as I was about to burst, because if you walk around sober, trying to maintain the same acts as when you drank, but you no longer have the chemicals to help you keep that act together, you are going to start to come unraveled. I'm not saying ha-ha, but I wish it for you. And I wish for you also that you be in a safe place when that begins to happen. What's going to begin to happen is a feeling is going to begin to creep out from somewhere down in that act. We're on to you, we know that. And you're safe here with it. And so if you come into a meeting crying, that's the right place. And if you're not together here, good. Save this as a place where you don't have to be together. Good. That's where we go. Those A&A things, that's where we go to get regenerated, to Oh, out there, keep up the act. Count on it. I don't know any adults out there. No grown-ups. I know lots and lots of people do not have a drinking or addiction problem. Let me tell you something. No grown-ups. There are none. I've never met any. But what we do have out there is we sort of try to act responsibly, and we try to drive responsibly. And that's about it, you know. We ask that you simply do that. Don't drink and no cross-dressing. And that's all we ask of you. I figured it's the only group I haven't offended tonight. The only other thing that happened, and I'll tell you in the remaining minutes, I told you I came in with some achievement, and it was certainly, you had to have done something if you lived like I did, which was always on the run. And I left home when I was 13, and that's when I started drinking, and it just wasn't safe for me at home anymore. I just had to get out. It was a practical. It wasn't a spiritual thing. It was very practical. I just had to get the hell out. And so I've been on my own ever since. So after, behaving like a grown-up, I mean, I knew how to tie a tie and do the Wilshire Boulevard doodah costume way back when I was 12. I have known how to make things work in business that long. And so, yeah, I came in with some accomplishments. But after I came in, thanks to you people, I was broke after that. I didn't know how to be broke until you nice AA people taught me how. I only knew how to keep up the stuff out there. I didn't know about, you're supposed to have a whole life? I mean, you're not your engraved letterhead? Oh, you're not the, who you are is not the photo gallery on the wall with the pictures, and you're reading from left to right, and you're more on the left than ever? I had to find out there was a whole new side of this thing called living, which made that stuff worthwhile and worthless without what you know, what you got. But in here, now I'm broke for the first time, right? And so goodbye house, goodbye Rolls Royce, goodbye things. And it was such a blessing. It robbed me of all that stuff I thought I was. It left me to find out, look, I am whole. Look, I am okay. I can't even show you who I am, and you seem to think I am enough. Oh my. But what a struggle, what a heartache. How awkward for a grown person. They gave me a driver's license and they let me vote and all that stuff out there, and they gave me titles, and then I have to find this out in here. How awkward. Count on it. If this is right for you and this program is working and you belong here, you ought to be feeling awkward. There'll be moments when you'll be feeling awkward. What's this all about? Why? No, not me. And coming in too, I already told you, I had, for the first time in my life, I had friends. There were 3 of us. And we were very close as friends. I have never had experience of such validation and love before. Never. I didn't know about that. I advise you, if whatever you do and you read the book or you work the steps or you don't and all that stuff, I'll tell you what will help you tremendously if you can connect with at least one other person. One is a lot. For us, one is a lot. If you can connect 2 or 3, and you feel a compatibility, you feel an affiliation, great. That will help you through a lot. What helped me too was that here in the program, I was able, you see, let me predicate this. This is a model, this is sort of a microcosm of real life. What we do here. Some, you'll notice, run things, and others are just satisfied to sit in a seat. Some of you will give in the basket, and this is not a pitch for money. We don't need the money. Okay, yeah, okay, I know tonight they did. Yeah, but mostly, most meetings, they don't need the money. It's not about money here. But you'll notice some people give before they're making it, and others promise that they will afterward. You'll notice here that some are leaders and some are, and that some take responsibility and some don't. It's a little microcosm of real life. How you do here is just about how you will do out there. Is that a sad situation for some of you? Why is it different here than there? And that's my point. Everything I learned to do here does not matter much here. You cannot like me more. You cannot do anything for me. But everything I do here that works, I take it out there and it matters. And so, learning as I did, as Clancy taught me, to take the action, whether I felt like it or not, just like Kathy told you about. Take the action. 80% of life is just showing up. Hey, there are places every day I don't want to be. Every day. Just showing up. Are we supposed to, after a number of years sobriety, are we supposed to now have it all together? God, if so, I've let you down again. I feel inadequate sometimes out there today. Not only because I'm still learning to move my mouth all over again, and speaking still has something to do with how you get along during the day, but because I am always trying new things. So I'm always a newcomer in some new, you know where in here, in AA, writing that goddamn book. I got to tell you something. It was for free and for fun, and I got to tell you, I swore I'd never be able to write again. See, I came in here, I was a speechwriter for Robert Kennedy when I came in. And I got to tell you something. I thought sober I'll never be able to write again. I'll never be able to work again. I closed an advertising agency that was doing phenomenally because I couldn't run it anymore sober. Now, what I'm saying to you is I began to stretch out and grow and find out who I was here where it was safe. It looked to me, like I say, as if I would never be able to cut it out there. I think it's a pretty safe statement to make that out there they find me, I fit in. They find me quite acceptable. I am today everything I used to fantasize that I could be. I have achieved, I've run out of fantasies. There's one thing left. Yeah, I would like to learn how to smoke a cigar in the shower. I cannot get that. Other than that, my sweetheart, my little dog, just laying there on the floor some nights and watching my puppy breathe, and I have people who are close to me who care about how I am and who I am, who are there for me. I am there for numbers of other people, as always. There's a give and take. We have a real caring between the people I know and me. That's describes my business life as well. I care very much about my clients. I care very much about the people who I'm associated with and who work for me. We're not. I've learned everything that works in the world here. I didn't need to believe in it. I didn't need to read about it. I just had to show up at the meetings. There's something that happens here when I can be here among you, and I can know that the one thing we have in common, it is all we are supposed to have in common. Don't compare yourself to me. And you won't end up, if you're hanging around a long time, you won't end up looking like me, I promise. And it won't take you as long as it took me. And you won't have to suffer like I did. And the pain I went through here, You won't have to go through that. Don't compare yourself. You're not like me in any way. You don't have to be. You don't have to like me. You don't need to prove it me. You don't need to believe in me. You don't need to love this thing. You don't need to love anybody. You don't need to have read anything. You don't need to have studied anything. You don't need to have sworn off anything. You don't need to be determined. You don't need to be sincere. It's okay with us if you're just putting it on. If you're a pack of lies, so what? We know you keep coming back. We know what'll happen is slowly you'll become a little unraveled, and you will find for yourself that this is a safe place, a very special place, where we accept you exactly as you are. And we are onto you, and we know who you are. Because that used to worry me. Oh my God, they can see right through me. And they could. And they could. Oh, could they? And they just, yeah, Art, okay, right, Art, yeah, and they let me keep coming back, and they just allowed me, and there was my chair, and it was okay, it was safe. You don't get that much in the real world. It is hacked up and crazy out there as they say it is. It is. It is. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. The world doesn't work. So forget about justice. Maybe pray for mercy. But forget about right and wrong. It doesn't work out there. The clearer your vision finally gets, when your eyes clear up and your head begins to run right, the more you'll see there's something wrong. It doesn't work out there. In closing, I got to say, this is the one place I know of in the world that works. This thing works. I'm not referring to the steps. I'm not saying only for the nice people. I'm saying you belong when you say you belong, and even if you don't say you belong, there's reason you're here. And while you're here, we don't require that you be an outcome. We don't require that you have identified yourself. It's okay if if you're a poached egg looking for a piece of toast to sit on, we don't care what your identity. You're visiting, you're doing research. Who gives a shit? But this place works. You ever need a haven for a few minutes of safety, a few minutes in which you can feel secure, when you can feel that you have just exactly and only what you need in common with other people, and that is that your case is different. And if you believe, if you don't believe you belong here, and you have your doubts, that you're going to make it, you have your doubts about whether the world is a safe place. In fact, if you have your doubts at all about anything, and don't we all, that's when you and I have something in common. We step forward anyway, and we wouldn't be able to do it alone. I could not have done what I did alone. I did it because of you. I did it with you. You will never do it alone. Come on, some of us have tried. We did it for you. You will never, ever get through this lifetime alone. So this is a safe place to be. I thank you for being here tonight and back then when I needed it.
That's great, Art. Thank you.
I think we got a great talk going on here. Thanks for watching the channel. Taper Dave here. Just curious, do you think this is better than Zoom? Okay, this is how I prepare my drone for launching. I like to do it inside the cab of my truck so I don't not standing outside in the weather. To install the joysticks for control, up and down, right and left, powered on. I have an Android phone that I use to connect it to the drone with. And it's actually controlled through the iPhone, through an app. Oops, wrong way. It's actually controlled through the iPhone, or through this Android phone, through the app. It's actually controlled through the Android phone, through an app, and you connect it through this short connection right here.
Remote control connected.
Remote control's connected. So I pull out the drone. I have to extend the legs. Long legs extended first, then the short legs. Remove the gimbal protector. Set that aside, then power it on one short burst, then one long burst. I lay it down. So I have to go to calibrate. So the drone's not connected yet. It shows you here as this drone gets disconnected, even though the remote's powered on. So the drone has to establish it's connected. So I go into the app to calibration mode. First I'll calibrate the remote controller. Start calibration. Out, in, oop, out, in, up, down. And then this little wheel is to control the gimbal. So it's calibrated. Go to gimbal calibration, start calibration, and then it calibrates the gimbal. I don't know if that shows up. The gimbal's moving all over the place. Changes, you can see it on the video. And I'm calibrated to take off. It's acquired 7 satellites at the moment. There are 26 satellites up in the sky, which it has to acquire before you can take off. So it's connected. It's got enough satellites. This is white. I can go to press this little arrow button, swipe right to take off, and it would start the motors if I slid this to the right. But I'll wait till I get outside. Don't want to do it inside.